Welcome back to the Zen State, a division of the Kolat Information Network. So tonight we're going to go over the preview cards from day two, which technically started after my first recording, link in the description, um, up through the end of last night. Um, so they spoiled some cards that in the two-player deck, or in the two-player decks, in the Blitz decks that I didn't get to. Uh, and this is the first one. It was Cadaverous Tilling. This is a 3 cost Earth attack action, 6 attack, 2 defense, um, common for all 3 pitch values. When this attacks, you may banish 2 Earth cards and an action card from your graveyard. If you do, this gets +2 attack. So a 3 for 8, 7 or 6 if you're able to decompose. Obviously, you have 2 Earth heroes that want to decompose. They want to do they want to get to a full banish zone. And so on value, this is about correct, but the decompose is obviously why you want it in your Earth decks. That was spoiled by Shoma Yamamura, uh, who won the Pro Tour with Uzuri. Next up is TCG Shop Go Again, and this one is an Earth equipment called Well Grounded. Instant. Destroy this. Prevent the next 2 damage that would be dealt to you this turn. Activate this only if there are 4 more Earth cards in your banish zone. Simple common equipment. Um, you're obviously aiming for 4 more Earth cards in your banish zone for the limited format. Um, don't really expect this to see much play outside of uh, limited, possibly commoner. Um, but it's an interesting effect. Next up, we have Flittering Charge, a zero cost lightning attack action, 4 attack, 2 defense, at common in all 3 pitch values. If you play an instant card, this chain link, this gets Go Again. Um, so we had Lightning Press in the Tales of Aria. And then we've got a new card that is part of the um, September Armory kits that you can play as an instant, and it gives your next attack a bonus. Um, as easy ways to trigger this. Um, Obviously, Acilio, even though he's a wizard, could potentially play this as a kind of a change up. But it seems to be, if your deck is built properly, a very easy way to have a 0 for 4 Go Again. Next up, we have Unofficial Flesh and Blood. That was the Flittering Charge. So next up is a spoiler by that was given to Yui uh, Tokiwa, Flash of Brilliance. So lightning equipment headpiece, blocks for one. When this defends, you may discard a lightning card. If you do, return an aura you control to its owner's hand. Has Blade Break, and it is a common. So, obviously, there's a couple of auras in this set. I know there's one in particular that says if you have dealt or been dealt damage, sacrifice it. And if it's sacrificed on your turn, you get 3 rune chant tokens. But if it's not, if it's sacked on your opponent's turn, you get nothing. So obviously, a card like this lets you go, okay, I'm going to block with this. I can't, um, maybe my cards don't block, like Fry doesn't have a block value. So you got to do something. You got to get, just like, I want to save this. So you pitch a lightning card to it and return that aura to your hand so you can keep it from popping from your opponent. During the LSS video, uh, as we there was 2 videos that they released. I say 2. I think this one was the 26th, so that was the that was Aurora and crap. It was Aurora and Florian. So these cards are all going to be Earth. Um, so one of the pieces of equipment is, or one of the cards is Helm of Lignum Vital. Um, it is an Earth equipment uh, headpiece. Defends for one. If there are 4 more Earth cards in your banish zone, it gets +1 defense and has Blade Break. So a common with 2 defense um, is almost unheard of. And considering that your Earth heroes want to have 4 more Earth cards in your banish zone, um, getting this turned on quickly is actually very good for you to get to defend with and get the most value out of. Next up is Arcane Seeds and Life, which is a rare Ruin Blade action Earth instant. Cost 0. Uh, has meld, so you can play both sides for 0. Um, Arcane Seeds is create a Rune Chant token, create a Rune Chant token, go again. And Life is gain 1 life. It blocks for 3. So with Florian, if his hero ability is active, instead of making 2 Rune Chant tokens, you make 3 Rune Chant tokens. Or maybe you make 4. Oh yeah, it's 2 separate instances. So instead of making 1, you'll make 2. So since he's making 2 separate ones, you'll make 4. Um, and then the last card that was spoiled in those videos was Vantage Point. It's a 3/7 Rude Blade attack action with 3 defense at rare. If you've played or created an aura this turn, this gains Overpower. And it comes in a full suite of colors. Um, making Rune Chance or Embodiment of Earths are pretty easy. Um, if you have the right cards in your deck. And so a 3 for 7 with overpower is hard to deal with, particularly if you're also having to dodge ruin chance. Next up is that. So next up was on Fabric. It's called Hold Focus. So this is a wizard equipment arms piece. Blocks for 0. Action. Destroy this. Amp 1. Go again. Um, so it lets you pump up your next arcane damage by 1. Simple, easy. Um, Definitely a card for limited, but I believe it's, it'll definitely, I think it almost certainly will see some commoner play as well. Um, Questionable in some of the other formats. And we have K-Yow has popped a bubble. So this was uh, a wizard action rare. It's a 0 cost, 3 defense. Deal 1 arcane damage to target hero. Surge. If this deals more than 1 damage to a hero, destroy an aura permanent they control. Um, and it comes in the full suite of colors. So it's a zap with upside. So much like um, a head jab, the 0 for 3 um, staple that you would call sort of a this is what a perfectly designed flesh and blood card is. Um, Zap is the same thing for wizards, and there's a lot of these effects, but all of them have some sort of minor upside where if you pump them, you get some other bonus. And pop the bubble makes sense. Blowing up an aura permanent in this set is obviously very good. We have the sigils. We have the embodiments of earth and embodiments of lightning. You have rune chant tokens, and then just going back fewer sets, you've got might tokens. You have copper and gold tokens, vigor tokens, courage tokens, ponder tokens. So there's this can blow up a lot of things, and that's not even counting some of the physical cards that are auras. Um, Next up, it was on uh, Stackswell, um, Harvest Season. So this comes in a full suite of colors. This was in the Verdance deck. It is a 1 cost Earth action aura, 2 defense at common rarity. Go again. At the beginning of your action phase, destroy this, then gain 3, 2, or 1 based on color pitch. Obviously, this is something Verdance wants to do naturally. She wants Earth cards in her graveyard so that they can be banished. She wants to gain life, um, and if she ends up banishing enough cards that her ability is now active, now the life gain also deals arcane damage to your opponent. So um, a nice common, albeit a little slow, but still decent. Uh, Next up is Tommy Fresh and Buds with Blossoming Decay. So this is a Earth attack action, cost 2, um, 3 attack, 2 defense, decompose. When this attacks, you may banish 2 Earth cards and an action card from your graveyard. If you do, gain 1 life, and it comes in the full suite since it's a common, so we get 2 and 3 life, and then the power also increases from 3, 4, 5. Once again, another decomposed card to help you um, power up Florian and uh, Verdance's um, hero abilities. Um, this one benefits, although the life gain is not insignificant, but it helps Verdance more than it does Florian long term. For Mahjong Bay, we have Overflow the Aether Well. It's a zero cost wizard action at common, 3 defense. Deal 1 arcane damage to target hero. Surge. If this deals more than 1 damage, gain 2 resources. Now, first off, at common, this is bonkers. If you have a way to increase the damage output and your opponent either has no way to prevent the damage, uh, which could be likely in the limited format, um, but being able to produce additional resources for a card hitting is truly nuts. And so if you look at the combo cards that, you know, Kano wants to go combo ham. And if you let this hit, they get resources back. Um, this is scary at common. And yes, it comes in a full suite, so the red one is a 3 damage. It's another zap, but boy, what a bonus. Next up is uh, the De Ophidia, and theirs is Perennial Aether Bloom, a zero cost common wizard action with 3 defense. Deal 3 arcade damage to target hero. If this deals more than 3 damage, put it on the bottom of its owner's deck. So in theory, if you whittle your deck down to almost nothing, you could perpetually um, hit your opponent over and over with the same card, particularly if you're Kano. Whether that's useful or not, fully, I don't know, but there are several heroes that are playing cards that allow them to put it on the bottom of their deck. And get them back for later. And again, it's another zap effect, 0 for 3. Um, so not having to pay resources is also a bonus. Next up is TCG Talk, and theirs is an interesting one. So we have Fertile Ground. Uh, this is a 2-cost common Earth instant. You gain 2 life. If there are 4 more Earth cards in your banish zone, instead gain 5 life. It comes as a suite in each of the colors, and the maximum life uh, additional life gain is decreased by 1. So the blue is a gain 2 or gain 3 if you have the um, Earth cards in banish. Um, I don't think this is going to be super relevant in anything other than Verdance and probably just limited because it also does not block. Um, Being instant speed, however, could be useful, especially if your opponent's at 1 and you play this on their turn to gain life and force them to take arcane damage. Uh, Next up, we have the spoiler by Fazendo Nerdice called Summer's Fall. This is a rare Earth attack action. It costs 2, attacks for 6 with 2 defense. It has Decompose. When this attacks, you may banish 2 Earth cards and an action card from your graveyard. If you do, put up to 1 target aura on the bottom of its owner's deck. So you can use this to maybe protect one of your own auras. Maybe you're not ready to disappear. Let's say you're playing Runeblade Incantation, and removed the uh, it's down to the last counter, or it doesn't have any counters left on it, and at the beginning of the next turn it's going to pop. So you can use this to put your own on there. Or if your opponent has one that's advantageous to them, you can force that on the bottom of their deck. Um, Beyond popping the tokens and making the aura tokens just cease to exist and them losing value of it, obviously this also hits illusionists, which is chef's kiss right now. I like having cards that will attack illusionists because Lord have mercy, I I absolutely despise playing against Prism. That's just me. Um, Next up is LSS spoiled what is Verdunce's weapon, the Staff of Verdant Shoot. Once per turn action, pay 3, amp 1, go again. When one or more Earth cards are pitched this way, the next time you deal arcane damage this turn, create an embodiment of Earth token. So since this can only be used on your turn by default, um, you have ways of creating embodiments of Earths on your turn to set up so that you can defend more efficiently on your opponent's turn. Now, obviously, that's only did for physical attacks. Doesn't really help you with arcane. But in any event, it's a very interesting weapon. This is the token weapon, which you'll find in the Blitz deck, and you'll be using for limited. I don't know. 3 seems a bit much for this ability. Um, we'll have to see how this plays. Next up is one by, uh, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, uh, uh, Tomorian, called Arcane Twinning. It's a zero cost common wizard action with blocks for 3. Deal 1 arcane damage to any target. It also has the instant ability, discard this, amp 1. And then the reds and the blues um, deal additional arcane. So I'm not really sure where this fits. And I will tell you by experience, I am not a wizard player. Um, I play Rune Blade because I like the split damage. I play Brute because sometimes I just want to smash face, and I play Ninja because I want to go wide. Wizard is not a class that I play regularly. And I have a local who is a Wizard main. Um, he likes combo decks, and so this sort of fits in that. So having a um, another block 3 for physical damage is great. having this additional ability to discard this and amp the next thing could also be effective. Um, I don't know enough to be able to fully grasp the combo-ness of this card. Now, last up of the ones that we didn't go over from yesterday is Etchings of Arcana. This is a zero cost common wizard action that blocks for 3, deals 3 arcane damage to target hero. Surge. If this deals more than 3 damage, you may return an aura with sigil in its name from your graveyard to your hand. So recurring cards from your graveyard to your hand straight is very rare in the game. Now, I don't know how many more sigils we're going to have in this set, uh, but the effect seems fairly powerful. Um, Particularly if you have easy ways to increase this damage. Obviously, there's a lot of amp in this set, um, so many of these surge effects will trigger. We'll see what kind of craziness you can do with this sigils. All right, guys. Um, that's it for all of yesterday's um, spoilers. Uh, Come back tomorrow when we go over all of the ones for the 28th. And until next time, no matter the game, there is no escape from the tiger.